Evening, my little angel. I was impressed by Totto-chan's reaction when something unexpected happened, like dropping her purse down the toilet. The most point was not only because Totto-chan didn't cry, but also because of her reaction when she first thought of trying to get her wallet back, only to be sad that night after trying her best. You know, I'm not surprised any little by such a reaction and spirit when it comes to something you really loved. For example, if you are a Totto-chan, I believe you will also find a way to get the purse back as soon as possible. You can do it yourself, as Totto-chan did to find the bag, or you can ask for help from others. Everyone's personality and circumstances are different. If you need to ask for help when you're having a problem, that's still a perfect way of thinking. That is, if an accident happens to something you like, you are definitely determined to solve the problem. But to be able to maintain the same good attitude towards all other unsatisfactory things, it will take what is called the cultivation of good habits. Here it is the habit of thinking and acting positively. A good pattern is hard to practice. It takes a lot of patience and effort. But once achieved, it will help you back more than the hard work you put in during the training process. The more good habits you have, the more things you will find daily that make you happy, and the easier it will be to overcome sadness. Just like Totto-chan was satisfied even though she couldn't find her wallet. That feeling of satisfaction helped Totto-chan reduce her regret over losing the things she dearly loved. In the last chapter, another thing that caught my attention, don't you know what? It was Totto-chan's feeling of pride. And I believe that all the children are like that. When you are trusted by adults, hear the principle in doing what you want. That feeling I also experienced, and even when I became an adult and authorized by others, I still feel great. However, every country, every time, and even every family is different. Totto-chan was a Japanese girl. There were things to ensure her safety in her country, separate from us in Vietnam. And her family is also different from ours. So, to make sure, before my little loved one to do something alone, let you discuss with your parents, your protectors, or teachers first. Examining before doing something doesn't show that you are small, you are limited, but on the contrary, it proves that you are a mature girl when you know how to present your thinking to keep yourself safe and to provide rest assurance to the adults responsible for keeping you safe. Discussion is the way we adults do every day in each thing to achieve the best results. I believe that when parents and teachers or your protectors understand your thoughts, we will be proud and will not stop you from doing what a thoughtful child wants to do for your good and safety. And now, let us meet Totto-chan again in the following two chapters, Totto-chan's name and radio comedians. Totto-chan's real name was Tetsuko. Before she was born, all mother and daddy's friends and relatives said they were sure the baby could be a boy. It was their first child, and they believed it. So they decided to name the baby Toru. When the baby turned out to be a girl, they were a little bit disappointed, but they both liked the Chinese character for Toru, which means to penetrate, to carry far, to be clear and resonant as the voice. So, they made it into a girl's name by using its Chinese-derived pronunciation, Tetsu, and adding the suffix ko, often used for girls' names. So everybody called her Tetsuko-chan, Chan is a familiar form of a san used after a person's name, but it didn't sound quite like Tetsuko-chan to her. Whenever anyone asked her what her name was, she would answer, Totto-chan. She even thought that Chan was a part of her name too. Daddy sometimes called her Tetsuko, as if she were a boy. He'd say, Tetsuko, come and help me take these bugs off the roses. But except for Daddy and Rocky, everybody else called her Totto-chan. And although she wrote her name as Tetsuko in her notebook at school, she still went on thinking of herself as Totto-chan. Yesterday, Totto-chan was very upset. Mother had said, you mustn't listen to any more comedians on the radio. When Totto-chan was a little girl, radios were large and good made. They were exquisite. This was rectangular with a rounded top and a big speaker in front covered with a pink suit and carved arabesques. It has 2 control knobs. Even before school started, Totto-chan liked to listen to Rakugo comedians, brushing her ear against the pink silk. She thought their jokes were terribly funny. Mother had never objected to her listening to them until yesterday. Last night, some of Daddy's friends from the orchestra came to the house to practice string quartets in the living room. Mr. Stunestada Tachibana, who plays the cello, has brought you some bananas, said Mother. Totto-chan was thrilled. She bowed politely to Mr. Tachibana and by way of thanks, exclaimed to her mother, Hey Ma, this is pretty goddamn good. After that, Totto-chan had to listen in secret when Mother and Daddy were out. When the comedians were good, she could laugh uproariously. When any grown-ups has been watching, they might well have wondered how such a small girl could understand such complex jokes. But there's no doubt that children have an innate sense of humor. No matter how young they are, they always know when something's really funny. The story time for today is over. I wish my little love a good night's sleep. Kiss you long on your forehead. See you again next time.